All right, we're going to do the romper room stuff. Clap once. Do it. Clap twice. Check in. When I say check in, I should have your attention to that point. Everybody's clapping. You say all in. Check in. All in. All right. Guys, what we're getting ready to get into is not easy stuff. This is not easy stuff to get started with. But the stuff that we're going to get into is going to build and become simple once we get it going as a routine, okay? After we create these good habits, right? This is going to be really good stuff for you guys. So we are going to do that simple stuff, the silly stuff of clapping once, clap twice, check in, say it with your chest. Here we go. Check in. There we go. All right, now we're locked in, right? These are the type of things, we got our minds locked in now, don't we? Okay, it took an action, right? It took an action. It took a repetitive action, and then it took a verbal affirmation, what we're going to do. And we're here. All right, you're locked in. We're good. All right. So, guys, this is just we've talked about the mental training stuff for a little while, and I had a Christmas break to study it. Okay, so I am locked in completely. I'm all in. All right. For us to become as successful as we possibly can, we are going to do this. All right, and we're going to do it really well. Guess what? Is everybody else doing it? No. And I'm going to tell you, if they are doing it, they're not going to do it as well as we do it. All right, we are going to get the mentalized, because what's everybody else doing? Everybody else right now, what are they doing right now? Hitting the cage. What else are they doing? Godwin, I saw Godwin on Twitter. Their coach is doing a 7 a.m. throwing program with their kids. Everybody's throwing right now, right? Everybody's working on hitting the ball the other way, because that's what you're going to see in high school teams. That's what they do this time of year. But what they don't do is what we're going to do. All right, and we're going to do the same stuff they're doing. We're going to hit in the cage. We're going to throw. We're going to lock in our skills. But you guys are going to get the mental game, right? And that's going to be the differentiator between us and everybody else. Nobody else is getting that. I guarantee it. It's one of the most under-taught things in the game of baseball, right? Preston, you gave me a great example. What did the quarterback in Michigan, right? They put the great stories about this, and I'm scared that they put it out there in the open, because I want people to figure this out. I want to exploit this and use it to our advantage at the high school level, right? And let us get some time with this on our own before everybody else figures out how good this stuff is. All right? At the highest level, in the major league level, every single team has at least one mental performance coach. What does that mean? What's mental performance? What's their job? What do they do? Get them in. We're dealing with a game of failure, guys. 3 out of 10 times you're going to fail, or you're going to be successful 3 out of 10 times. All the other times you fail. So you're in moments. Remember we talked about yellow and red light moments? Yellow light moments are majority of what you see. And yellow light moments where something bad happens or something not favorable happens in the game, which happens a lot. You throw a ball, yellow light. You swing and miss, yellow light. You take a strike, yellow light. We are going to learn what to do in those yellow light moments and red light moments. What are our red light moments? What? You're down big. You have a huge deficit. Okay, that could be a red light moment. What else? How about individual performance? Walking a guy could be a red light performance. Striking out could be a red light performance. So when you get to those moments where you have to reset, we're going to do what we call a check-in. A check-in where you know exactly what to go to get your mind back on the right track. All right? And we're going to practice it. We're going to be so freaking good at it that we don't have to think about it. We're going to have to think about it now, because we have to establish what we're going to do to get there. But when we get on the field, we will spend time in practice. We're going to spend time in practice. I'm talking 30 to 50% of our practice is going to be repeating these things. It sounds silly, doesn't it? Why are we going to spend time worrying about what we say to ourselves? Because you guys know how fast that game moves, right? It's a fast game, especially when things aren't going well. It speeds up. But if you can slow it down with what you say to yourself and how remember we talked about breathing, we talked about what we say, we do a physical motion to block out the last bit and lock in the moment, it slows the game down, right? And that's the key. It's a fast game. The higher level you go, when you guys go off to play college baseball, it's going to be so freaking fast when you first get there. You're going to learn skills here, even if you're not going to play college baseball, to slow the game down. And you can use it in so many other ways in your life as well. All right? So that's what we're going to tackle right here. Okay? I have to admit something. Okay? I fucked up. Big time. I said it. That's on the recording now. I got to edit that. I messed up. And the mistake that I made, and I've been making it for 11 freaking years as a coach here at Clover Hill. 11 years of making the same freaking mistake. All right. And I'm going to tell you about it in just a second. But I'm going to tell you a story before that. Everybody had a good holiday, right? Good holiday? Everybody? Good holiday? All right. I had a good holiday as well. I got a couple text messages on Happy New Year text message. Anybody get a Happy New Year text message? Anybody get one? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Devin. Happy New Year, Preston. Well, Preston sends me a message, right? And this is the first time he said this to me, but he sent me a message. He said, Happy New Year, coach. You know, this year I'm going to give you a state championship, okay? And he mentioned state championship a few times to me. And what was my response? I even did it on the podcast. Oh, we're going to win the next game. We're going to focus on this game right here. We're going to focus on winning this practice, win the day, win this moment right here first. And that's not a bad way to think, but my mistake that I made was I didn't take that serious, what he just said. He's here to win a state championship, all right? And that mindset, it's not a bad way to go, is it? It's a good way to go, but the problem is most people take that and they make it into a wish or a dream. They just say it, or they just, it'll happen. We're going to be good this year. We can make it happen. But that's what I always thought was that mentality, because most people don't really do what it takes to win a state championship, right? They just go out there and play as hard as they can and hope it happens, and all the pieces are in the right place. Well, I made the mistake of letting myself not accept the state championship. I never thought state championship. Well, Preston's message, along with Coach Collier, he sent me the same message. How about a state championship, coach, this year? I'm like, maybe I'm missing on something. So I did some self-reflecting. Guess what we're going to do this year, guys? I'm going to think state championship, just like Preston, just like a few of you guys. You might not have said it much, but our job is to determine right now, right here, right now, is the state championship what you guys want? Yes? Yes? We in? Are we all in? All right, so you better check in. All in, right? Check in right here. All right, that's what it's going to take. It can't be a dream. It can't be a wish. It can't be a hope. It might happen. It might not happen. But if we develop a process, if we develop a plan to objectify what we need to do to get there, guess what? We're going to be a better freaking team because our goal is a lot higher. Right? We set a standard for ourselves. That's what we're working towards. So I developed a mentality over the break that I'm going to give you guys, and I just need you guys to give it right back to me and give it to each other. Y'all feel me on that? Okay? You can't be halfway on this, guys. You can't be halfway. It's an all in. If you're not all in, guess what? We're wasting our time. Because this team is good. This team has things about them that are going to make us a whole lot better than we even know we're going to be. You don't even know how good you're going to be right now. All we have to go on is what? Last year. Last year was pretty bad. It was. Would y'all agree with saying last year was pretty bad? Well, guess what? Those losses, those defeats, all of those things, if we can take those negatives and learn from them, there's not winners and losers, guys. There's winners, and this sounds so cliche to say this, but it's true if you really think about it. There's winners and there's learners. Okay? You got to learn from the negative things that happen to you in life in the game of baseball. Right? You're going to lose games. State champions lose games every single year. Right? National champions lose games every single year. There's nobody undefeated in the game of baseball. It's too tough. Maybe every now and then in high school. Maybe you might get one every now and then. But I'm not expecting you guys to be undefeated. I almost want us to lose a game. Why? So you can learn from it. So you know when things get tough, how you need to rebound and get back on track. Right? So understand that it's not, you don't have to have expectations. What do you need to have? Execution. Expectations are great, but at the end of the day, it's just pretty words. You got to execute. All right? And we're going to give you the process of how to do that. Winning a state championship is a process. It's not just something you show up and do. All right? Are y'all ready for that? All right? Y'all have a lot of things already ready to go. We have pieces in place. Now it's about developing strategy to get these things done every single day that we're working together. We are not just going to count the days till we play our first game. We're going to make every single day leading up to when we start and when we're playing, we're going to make every day count. We're not counting them. We're not counting down this year. Every day we work, we're going to count. That day counts. We're going to dominate the day that we're in. Today, you guys are dominating the day because you're here ready to get this thing done. The guys aren't here. They're going to have to watch it on video after I edit that cuss word I said earlier. All right? So understand that there is a process. I'm going to show that to you guys right now that I developed this for you. That's my job. Okay? My job is to make sure that you guys are first aware of what we need to do, right? My job is to bring awareness. Next, I have to implement it and give you guys an opportunity to practice it. And then my next job is to give you guys feedback, okay? So I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do my part. When it comes to between the lines, my job is pretty insignificant. See if I can open that file view. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this up so y'all can see it full screen. All right. So like I said, you can't just show up. I can't just make this crap up as I go. All right. The only way it's going to be effective is if you develop, you hear me on this, strategy. Strategy is the word of the year, guys. Strategy, not just winging it, not just trying to make it happen on a day. You have to know exactly what needs to happen. So I built this for you guys. If you want to change it, we'll change it. I think this is a good foundation where we want to go. We want to be state champions, right? Right? That journey, a 1,000-mile journey begins with what? One step. But if that one step is in the wrong direction, are we going to get to our spot that we need to get to? No, we're going to be in the opposite direction. So what I've done is I laid out the things that we need to work on, the process it's going to take in order to get us there. All right? Now, is this going to guarantee this? No, but it's going to put us in a great freaking position to get that. And if we didn't do this, like I would have gone before, okay, my goal is always to be a winning team. That's it. What's that mean? Win 10 games? That's such a low standard, guys. You can't set low standards for yourself. You set low standards for yourself, you're not going to achieve, right? You set high standards, you reach higher, and your low minimums become higher. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to elevate whatever this team was going to do without this. We're going to elevate that now, and we're going to be better because we're having this day. We're having this conversation. Okay? So let's be state champions. But what does it take to get there? And this is what I want you guys to focus on. Mental performance training. That's going to be a big piece to it because that's our edge. That's what we have that nobody else that we play is going to have. I guarantee even Hanover won't get it as good as what I'm going to give it to you guys because they probably pay somebody to come in once a week and give them a little half-hour spiel about what to do, and they implement it. Yeah, sure. But we're going to practice it every day. You're going to get it from me. I'm your mental performance coach. They're not paying me extra for this. I'll have a certification, but guess what? I've studied this. I have immersed myself in this mentality, and I'm going to give it to you guys the way I was trained to give it to you guys. All right? So mental performance training, that is probably the number one pillar that we're going to go after this year. That's what's going to help us win the games that we need to win to get to that spot, right? Team energy. Team energy is not just high fives, get out of the dugout, all the routine crap that you guys have done before. It's so much bigger, all right? We talked about celebrating. We're going to celebrate, but we got to be almost, I want to say choreograph them, but we got to be organized with it. We got to know what we're going to do. When we do it, when we hit a double, we know our celebration. When we get a base hit, we know our celebration. When we score a run, we know our celebration. It needs to be organized to the point where it's routine and we know how to do it, and it's going to get everybody locked in together, okay? An example of that, I don't remember what college did it, but when a guy would get a base hit, when he get the first base, almost like a double, he would pull the rope. And everybody else in the dugout, as soon as he pulled the rope, everybody in the dugout pulled right back. It's our turn now, right? Things like that, not the things that Connor did last year, okay? Does that make sense? You can have your own individual double if it wants to. If you want your own celebration, it's got to be clean, and everybody needs to know it. And everybody does it with you so that we can celebrate with you when you achieve, all right? So we're going to move in that direction. Team energy, guys, this sounds so far-fetched and a crazy thing, and I almost want to show you the video. I'll do that next time we're in the classroom. But remember when I talk about team energy, teams that win, and this sounds so bad when I say it like this, but open your brains, don't make it dirty, don't make it weird, embrace it for what it is. Teams that are high energy, teams that win, guys that are good, for their team, they make physical contact with each other. Okay? They high five. They chest bump. They are physical with each other. Okay, there's an example that I'm going to show you guys next time in the NBA, where the top 2 NBA teams, I think it was from last season, right? The top 2 teams, they charted the stat of physical contact. They charted it. Somebody kept an eye on it and charted how many times they physically touched each other in a way that was celebratory or encouraging. And the top 2 teams in the NBA had the most, if you will, touches. It sounds dirty, but think about it. If my energy today, let's just say that if I beat you guys here, I open the door, but let's just say instead of just opening the door, letting you guys sit in there, and I just dapped each one of you guys up, shook you, let's go, man, let's go. And I got physical contact with you guys, let's go. Give me a real high five, damn it. Let's go. Hey, we're gonna have a good workout today, all right? And if you guys each were accountable to maybe doing that same thing with 2 or 3 other guys, or everybody for that matter, everybody kind of welcomes each other and gets excited. Guess what? That's team energy. It's not a celebration all the time. Sometimes it's just supporting your teammates, because guess what? A state championship, we do that together. It's not just Preston that walks away with the state championship. It's everybody. It's not just my starting shortstop. It's also my guy on the bench that was out there keeping a chart that wins the state championship. All right? Everybody needs to feel that energy. And I'm telling you, we're going to call it a high five zone. High five zone. That way we're not saying the word touch, because you guys will make it weird. Okay? But we're going to call it high five zone. You're going to see it from me. What we're getting ready to present to you guys, it's changing me as a coach. Preston, what did you describe me as in the podcast? A hothead. All right? And what was my response to that? You remember? I laughed. I was like, yeah. I have my moments. And I said to him, it's my intensity. People read my intensity wrong. But guess what? That's been a problem with me for 11 years here at Clover Hill. People play scared for me. They play scared of me. They play scared for me. Tell me in the outfield, y'all weren't scared of dropping the fucking ball. I got to edit that.
I know. I wasn't scared.
You be honest with yourself. If you're like, oh, great. When you did drop one, you're like, oh, great, I'm going to hear from Moody. Right? That's done. You know why? Because I'm going to revert right back to team energy. I'm going to revert back to my mental performance training. I'm going to do the same thing you guys are doing. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to do something physical to wipe it away. And then I'm going to say, hey, next play, and I'm going to encourage. Let's go. We're good. Next play. And you're going to do the same thing. And you're going to be locked in on the next fly ball that gets hit you that you do catch, because I wasn't beating you up. So I'm going to change as a coach because of this stuff. All right? We're going to connect better, coach. We're going to connect better because of this. The encouragement, that's where I lack, guys. I lack in giving you guys more than just, hey, good job on that rep. All right? You're going to hear me talk to you in a more individual way, like, hey, Connor, you are hitting the absolute shit out of the ball right now. That's the truth. Connor's doing it, guys. You see it in the cage, that ball is flying off that kid's bat. You need to hear about it. And I don't do a very good job of telling you guys that individually. You're going to hear about it. Right? You need to know that. It makes you feel good, doesn't it, Connor? Does it make you feel good to know that I think that about you after I watch you hit? Just say yes, because I know it's true. Yeah. Don't be a tough guy right here. All right? It makes you feel better. All right? So understand that this is going to help me as well to help with that team energy, because I'm going to be energetic too. You guys know I have energy on the game day. I want to beat the shit out of everybody I play. I can't really do it though, because I'm in the third base coaching box. But I'm going to encourage you guys. High fives all around, guys. Bro hugs, whatever it needs to be. Chest bumps. You guys are going to get beat up a little bit, because I'm going to be throwing around some touches. All right. Process over outcome. Here we go. Let me get this thing going. I need to make this thing move. Process over outcome. Guys, winning and losing is great. It's a good report card on what you do. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on that process, the things that we need to get done, the things that we're doing, the things that the routines that we build, the process. The outcomes are going to come, guys, good, bad, or indifferent. They're going to be there. When we have a good one, we're going to learn from it, grow from it as well. We're going to celebrate. It's going to build our confidence, because it's not just, remember when we talked about confidence, what did we say? Confidence is not a feeling, right? Confidence is not a feeling. Confidence is not a feeling. What is it? It's a mindset. It's something you do, all right? So you have to, if you don't have it, guess what you do? What do we say? We do what? We fake it. We do what? We fake it. And you get big body language, and you go out there like you're the freaking man, and you show it. And how do you show it? You show it with a area your chest, shoulders back, head up. All right? You show it in the pace at which you move. If you just struck out, we're going to practice this. If you just struck out, how we go back to the dugout sends a message to that pitcher. If you go back, he knows he got you. But if you go with the mindset, big body language out of the box, hold that barrel, and you nod your head with big body language, okay, all right, you got me, but guess what? I'm coming to get you next time. And you have that mindset right away. Not once you get to the dugout. You make sure he sees it. You're like, okay. It's going to make a difference, guys. It's going to give you that edge. It's about getting the edge. It's about getting the around their confidence and building your own. So when we focus on process over outcome, the positive things are important too, because we're going to build our confidence off those positive outcomes. But when the outcome is bad, we're going to know how to defeat that negative mentality and then make it into a positive outcome. All right, does that make sense? All right, this is a lot, guys, I know, but guess what? We're going to simplify it. It's going to be, you're going to, at the end of the season this year, you're going to be like, holy crap, this is easy. You're going to think back to this day like, that was a lot then, but no, you're going to build those routines. We're going to practice them. It's going to be awesome. All in mentality. We talked about that. Check in. Check in. All right. You're going to hear me do that a lot. When you guys don't stop talking, Preston, I'm going to clap once. You're going to clap once. You're going to clap twice. I'm going to say check in. I got your attention at this point. Okay. I got you guys now. All right. So that's just an example of all in. When you show up to practice on a day where you don't want to, because you know there's going to be those days, right? Where you might not feel very good. You're feeling about what, 80, 75, 80%, where you're like, oh, I'm a little tired. What do you do on those days? What do? You show up, but what do? Do you just give 75, 80%? What do? You give every bit of that 85% that you got. You give 100% of your 85%. Because in baseball, your arm's always going to feel good, right? You're not going to be confident with your swing. But if you're all in, saying, no, I got to give everything I got to what I have to give, you give it. That's the all-in mentality, guys. It's not just listening to Coach Mooney and say, gotcha, Coach. That's not all in. All in is you doing it. You doing it for the guy sitting next to you. Because without your teammates, you got nothing. You got absolutely nothing without these guys. No, there's no individual here that's going to win a state title by themselves. Somebody might help. But you got to do it together. From the JV level all the way up to the varsity level. Everybody's going to be all in. All right? And anybody who's not, it's your responsibility not to call them out. Do y'all remember what I said? Instead of calling out, what do? You call them up. You build them up. Hey, why are you, like Stewie, why aren't you at baseball today, man? We had a great talk. No, you say, hey, Stewie, hey, get there, man. We got to get on this stuff. This is what we got to do together in order to win that state championship. That's calling them up, not calling them out. Does that make sense? That's accountability, fellas. That's accountability, not making people feel like crap. Right? You build each other up. That's your job. If I need to break somebody down, I will break them down. I still have the capability of doing that. But your job is to build each other up. You understand that? Do it. Lead the way. Be leaders. All in mentality. Let me skip that one. Pitching, philosophy, execution. No pitching coach this year, do we? Don't have a pitching coach. We do, but it's Ben Lake. He played for me. Okay? He's going to do a great job. He's going to do a phenomenal job. He knows what I want out of my pitchers. Mechanics are kind of going to be something that we talk about in an as-needed time. That's it. That's the only time we're talking mechanics, if it's needed. Everything else is going to be mentality and philosophy. You guys that have played for me before know the philosophy here at Clover Hill when it comes to pitching, right? We're going to embrace that, and that's what's going to win us our games. We've had several pitchers in our program come through that were very mediocre at best mediocre, probably below mediocre. All right? They won baseball games here at Clover Hill against good teams because they abided by that philosophy. And I'm going to hold you guys accountable to that philosophy based on your performance, but I'm also going to support you guys in that philosophy in a different way than I usually do. When you walk a leadoff batter, what do I usually do? I come out and I give you a piece of my mind about why you did what you did. For effect, to teach you a lesson, but that's not effective. What's going to happen in the next pitch? You're like, oh, I got to throw a strike here or else. You know? That's not right, guys. You don't respond that way as a human being. I was wrong. I said it. I was wrong. You hear me? I was wrong. I still need to teach you that. I still need to hold you accountable to that. But my delivery was bad. For 11 years, it was bad. This year's going to be different. You're going to know the philosophy. You're going to go out there and lock in on this pitch right here. Doesn't matter about the next one or the one behind, this pitch. And we're going to have a routine to get to that pitch and how to get yourself ready for that one pitch. It's the most important pitch of the day is that one. And then the next pitch is the most important. All right. So you're not worried about the ends. You're worried about right here, right now. So we're going to execute our pitching philosophy. And this year, the new thing for us, what killed us last year was offensive production. Am I right? And missing some fly balls in the outfield. All right. We joke about that now because it's behind us. All right. We're joking about that now. All right. So don't take that personal if I say it. All right. Please don't, because that's not my intention. All right. But last year, our offense is what let us down. We did not execute when runners were in scoring position. We would get them on, we bunt them over, and then they stay there. All right. They stay there. So this year, rather than just go out there with an approach to hit the first ball you see and just go out there with a hope and a dream to get it done, we're going to go out there with an approach that's a little bit different. It's a little bit more focused on quality at bats. Okay, so we're going to spend time in the classroom. We're going to spend time on defining what a quality at bat is. The things that you can do to make it a quality at bat. It's not taking a bunch of pitches, guys. It's not. It's more than just taking pitches. Shoot. Try not to cuss on this video. It's not just taking pitches. It's not just seeing a lot of pitches. All right? It's more than that. Things like bunting, that's a quality at bat that got the job done. All right? Getting your butt on base any way you can, getting a walk, getting hit by a pitch. Have you ever thought that you could be coached to get hit by a pitch? You ever thought that? I don't want to sit here and say, hey, I need you to, hey, get your body in the one, I need you to get hit by a pitch. I can't really say that as a coach. But if you're a guy who is a setup guy whose job is to get on base, it's a tool. I did it for my career. I was, I could hit the ball a little bit, but I was a setup guy. My job was to get my butt on base. I got hit by 46 pitches in my entire college career, 46 times. And I would have shattered any records if I didn't shorten my senior season with a back injury. I would probably have had 60 hit by pitches by the end of my season. All right. I got my butt on base by getting hit. Know how I did it? Got right up on the dish. I stood on that line that they drew for me. I stood on the line and I said, good luck coming in, because if you come in, guess what's going to happen? You're going to hit me and I'm on first base. Make it look like it hurts too. It tricks the umpire. Right? But what did that do when I got up on the dish? I opened up the outer part of the plate to me to be my middle pitch. I was able to handle balls off the plate as my outside pitch. It's not for everybody. Like Connor, you got to get off the dish and be able to let your swing fly. But the guy that's maybe struggling a little bit, low batting average guys, low production guys, get on the dish, get hit by a pitch. Get your butt on base. Draw a walk. All right? Don't need you hacking your way on. Does that make sense? All right? So there's a quality at bat there if you get hit by a pitch. All right? If you go out there first pitch swinging like we love, going out there after the first fastball you sweep, first sweep when you get, and you hit a laser beam right at the shortstop, quality at bat, because you put the pressure on them to make a play. Now, however, you try to pull an outside pitch, and you roll over to the shortstop, he feels it, throws your ass out. Is that quality at bat? No. All right? So we need to know what gets us that quality at bat, that approach that will get us there. All right? We're going to define it. We're going to break it down. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to chart it. We're going to have a whiteboard in our dugout this year that charts our quality at bats, how many we get. We're aiming for probably about 50% quality at bats. That's what we want. Does that mean we get on base every time? No, but it means we have some good productive outs. All right, we're still going to bunt. I'm not afraid to give up outs. We're still going to do that. I'm going to be a little more liberal with it, though. I'm not going to make it automatic. We're going to be ready to bunt every time we see that situation come up. So your mind's ready for it. But sometimes I'm just going to wipe it off. Go out there, get the job done. Let's go. I trust your bat. I trust the way you're playing right now. I trust your swing right now to get us in that situation. Now, if you're cold bat, I'm not going to use a bunt situation to wake your bat up. Make sense? All right. So understand that I'm going to change things up a little bit, guys. You're going to get a different Coach Mooney this year. Go, Coach.
Another thing, offensively, not everybody's going to have the same role either. And an example that popped in my head, Connor, if we got second, third, one out, your role is not to get hit by a pitch. Your role is to drive runs in it, and we'll help you define your role.
Yep.
And if there's times if you're coming up to the plate and you're a little indecisive on your role, we need somebody on base. We got to get this going, or we got to drive these runs in. There's different. And if you're on a roll and the guy behind you is struggling, we got 2 outs.
We need you to do it.
Hit.
Yep.
We don't need you walking. We don't need you getting hit. So we'll help define your role, and not everybody's role is the same, and it can change.
Yep. The game will tell you guys. The game speaks. You just got to listen to it a little bit. All right. So we're going to attack the quality at bat, guys. We're going to keep that chart in our dugout. We're going to try to force that pitcher to throw more pitches. All right. We're going to force them to throw, let's say, better than 15, 20 pitches. All right. We're going to target that. We're going to see how many pitches we can get him to throw in an inning. All right. We're going to try to expand, get to their bullpen like we preach. We're going to try to keep our pitch count down. We're going to chart our pitch count. All right. Try to keep our pitch count down while we're trying to get theirs up. All right. So we're going to keep that chart in our dugout, and we're going to celebrate when it happens. Quality at bat, put it on the board. Let's go. Bunch of high five zone. Get behind it. Get excited about it. I'm telling you guys, this one right here is probably that's up there. I want to give it a number because I want to take any of the other ones down. But this is up there for us to be successful. Okay, so embrace that. Know that this is probably going to be our biggest challenge right here. All these 6 things, this one's going to be the biggest challenge, but you guys can do it. But it takes that all-in mentality to know that this is how it's going to get done. All right, guys? So as we get started, as we move forward, I'm not going to spend this much time in the future. We're going to hit mental performance training bit by bit, and we'll move on. If we get stuck inside, it'll be mental performance training. Then boom, let's watch some baseball, talk philosophy. Let's talk baseball. But we're going to have to practice these things. We're going to have to establish our routines. We're going to do that. You're going to write them down, and then you're going to practice them. Okay? So understand that's what's coming, guys. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited about it. Can you tell? I'm excited about it. It's helped me be a better coach, and it's going to help you be better baseball players. It's going to work. It's going to work. I have faith in it. I know it's going to work. All right? Y'all ready to do it? Check in. Let's go. All right? Make it happen. All right, listen. One more thing before we go. I can turn that off now if I want to. We talked about Canvas right when we showed up. Okay, every single day I'm going to post a chapter summary on Canvas. You have until midnight to get it done. Okay, midnight it shuts off. You can't answer it anymore. All right, 100 points for your team every time you answer one. So if you answer all 9 of them, guess what? 900 points for you individually for your team. If you don't answer it by midnight, sorry, no second chances. Eventually, when we're done with that, I'll open everything back up so that you can see everything and go back through it. You're going to get an opportunity once you answer to see everybody else's answers. Okay, please handle that responsibly if somebody has a dumb answer. They're going to happen because some people might not interpret what they read the right way or interpret the question the right way. What I did also is I'm writing the answer to the question the way I interpret it. So if you get a chance after you write your response, go back and read my response so you know exactly what I'm thinking when I ask that question. Okay, that'll help us all grow and gain. All right, that's where we are. I am also going to ask you one last thing. I promise this is the last one. How many of you guys listen to podcasts? Anybody listen to podcasts? All right, I'm going to encourage you guys. We talk about being a student of the game. Be a student of the game. How many of you guys got 3 minutes in your day? Anybody got 3 minutes? There are podcasts out there that are baseball performance, mental performance training that are 3 minutes long each day. Each day, okay? The guy I'm following, his name is Brian Kane. He's my mentor for this, if you will. He has mentored a bunch of people, and he's mentored other coaches that are actually now mental performance coaches. Zach Sorensen is the mental performance coach for the Atlanta Braves, right? It's one of his products. Zach Sorensen is a product of Brian Kane, but he developed his own platform, and he actually puts out a 3-minute podcast every single day called The Hard 90. You can't forget that, right? The Hard 90. Look it up. It's a 3-minute thing. I listen to it every day. Brian Kane puts one out. It's about 3 or 4 minutes every single day. I listen to that, and I get just a little bit every day. All right, it's good for you. All right, we're looking to get 1% better every day if we can. 1% better. How many minutes are in a day? It's a hard question.
6,000.
Anyway, well, I'm going to tell you, to be 1% better each day in 24 hours, hear me out on this one. Hear me out. To be 1% better at something in 24 hours, it's going 1% of your time in 24 hours is 14 minutes in like 23 seconds. 14 minutes of your day, is it worth getting 1% better at what we're trying to go after here? So what I'm asking you in that 1% time where you're trying to make yourself 1% better on your own, I think a thing like a podcast might be a good avenue. Going over to the Heads Up Baseball training. All these guys I've been talking about, they all cite Heads Up Baseball as the book that got them started. So I started you guys with that. All right. So these guys, there's resources out there. So the Hard 90. All right. Brian Kane, Mental Performance Daily is what it's called. 6 minutes of your day, guys, right there. I have the 14 if you're really gonna focus on getting 1% better. All right, you can do it. You really can. You just gotta make sure that you establish that that's what we're gonna do. All right, and you gotta go do it. And every day you might not necessarily be motivated, but you might have to get yourself going every single day to do it. It's not easy. All right, so let's get after it. Let's Brian always says dominate the day. All right, and we talked about not counting the days. What are we gonna do? Make the day count. We're not gonna count the days. We're gonna make the days count. All right, so take that philosophy, keep it going. Y'all with me? Everybody like it? All right. Is it boring? No, I made it boring. I stretched out too long today, but I wanted to get this into you guys. This was a big deal. I sat on this for a long time, since New Year's Day, and it was hard to cancel yesterday with this on my plate. So giving it to you guys feels amazing. Okay, I'm excited about this. I am all in on the state championship. I want to walk away with a ring on my freaking finger thanks to you guys. I get it because of you. All right, I get it because of the effort that you put in. We got to be all in. That would fit really good right there, right there, Coach. Let's go. Do this. As you guys are developing these routines and the team energy that I'm asking you guys to build, those celebrations, think of a 1 or 2 word slogan that you guys can get behind, that we can, instead of saying, Cavs on 3, 1, 2, 3, Cavs, whatever we're going to say, have our team slogan. Establish one for this year. We'll change it next year. But let's have one for this. What does this team need to have? What does this team need? What does this team get behind? Okay, this group right here, not next year's group, this year's group. What do we get behind? What do we rally behind? What do we believe? All right. All right. So whatever gets you guys there, y'all come up with this. This is going to take a lot of connection with you guys. I don't want to provide this stuff to you. It's not going to mean much if I provide those type of things to you. I can, but it means more when you develop it, when you make it yours together, and I get behind you on that. Let's go. I'm with you on that. Just like Preston got me on board with the state championship thing. I'll get behind you guys on some stuff. All right. So I have your back. You have my back a little bit too as I try to show you guys how to do this, lead you guys this way. All right. Let's get our butts to the weight room. Let's do a little bit of arm care today. Let's go to the weight room and knock that out. Hey, before we go. 1, 2. Check in. All in. Let's go work.